Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I am braiding my hair. And yes, just like it says, I'm braiding my hair so I can save myself some money. And I just love it. Just by myself. So, yeah, I just absolutely love doing my own hair. Somebody else can do it much faster than me. And that's the reason why I don't do it myself. But it's important to know how to do these things. Now, I actually taught myself how to braid my own hair. Is there anybody else out there that has taught themselves how to braid their own hair? Anybody else who's taught themselves how to braid their own hair? I know it's 4:30 in the morning. I got up super early. I awoke at like 2 something this morning. It was like 2:50 or something like that. So let's just round it off to 3 o'clock. And it's not that I couldn't go back to sleep. It's just that I had so many things to do. I fell asleep early yesterday. I was so tired. I got up super duper early. And when I got up that super duper early, it was over. So I find myself up this time in the morning, and I hope that somebody is getting ready with me. Just put me on something to listen to while you get ready for work or something like that. I stopped watching regular TV, and so I'm just doing my hair myself. I took my braids out. I had really super duper blonde locks in my hair, if anybody remembers, and has visited my page. If you haven't, go ahead, please like and subscribe. I say that a lot because I have my YouTube channel, but go ahead, follow me. Follow me. I'm always coming on and I have something to say that's super duper like interesting on my lives, and a lot of people don't get a chance to see it because maybe I might put my stuff on private every now and then, and just because I don't know, I do it because I like my privacy. But I know in order to reach a bigger audience, I go ahead and I put myself out for the public. And so if you are not following me, just go ahead and follow me. So while you getting ready, I just wanted to talk about a few things while I braid my hair. And sometimes I find it really like oddly satisfying to watch somebody else do their thing, like braid their hair or clean the house, something like that. And I'd be like, ooh, you girl, you better get that spot. You better get that spot. You're going to miss that spot. And then as soon as they get it, it feels like I have helped them out in some sort of way, or I have cleaned the house or done something myself. I love that. So if you find this oddly satisfying, give me a like and spread this live so somebody else can sit there and listen to whatever I say for today. So I'm doing this, I'm braiding this as a base because I like to crochet my hair. And I'm gonna go to the gym this morning. That is a must. I have to I gotta keep it up. I gotta keep my fitness up, and I am not trying to skip a day at the gym because I don't have my hair braided up, or I need to spend time trying to do something to my hair after I work out. So that's another reason why I always have my hair done, because I don't have the time. And a lot of people think, oh, you must hate your hair. You must hate yourself because because you keep on getting your hair done, because you keep on getting a braids or a weave or crochet. Let me tell you something. I love my hair. I love myself, but I love my time too. And so if I could just cut down on some of the things that I have to do with my hair, then I do it. And so that means that I get it done. And I always have time to jump up and get ready and do anything that I want to do. So to me, that's good time management, because I could be spending, because every day I would have to get up and do something in my hair for like 30, 40 minutes. Who has time to do that? And you're doggone right, I'm not going to go and jump in no pool. I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to do all of those other things that regular people get a chance to do, because I'm busy sitting up here trying to keep my hair straight. You know, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I love my kinky coils and everything, because I have 4C hair, and this hair right here is blow dried and pressed out with a flat iron. So, but I'm doing this so I can crochet my hair. I'm not gonna have enough time, because I gotta leave in an hour. I'm not gonna have enough time to put my crochets in this morning. That'll be something that I do when I get home from work. I did want to go get my hair braided, but I don't know. Depending on how I do my hair myself, I'm just gonna probably keep that until I get my hair braided for the next go round, and save a little bit of money, because we all can save a little bit of money. That having this skill has helped me out so freaking much. And like I said, nobody taught me how to braid my hair. I braided my hair myself, because as a child, I'm gonna tell y'all a little childhood story. I was in like the 2nd grade, right? The 2nd grade. And what is that, 7 years old or something, like 7, 8 years old. And my father used to do my hair, right? He didn't know how to do hair. So he would push my hair up in a ponytail up at the top, and he would proceed to mess my hair up. And he didn't know how to put in one of those balls, you know, with the 2 balls on the end. And he did something where he tangled it up in my hair, and then it didn't go well. He would tangle it up in my hair, and then I was left to go to school looking like a fool. And I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. And, you know, other people would come in and they got their hair done, and it looked sweet and nice. But me, no, it wasn't something that I was afforded to do. I can't see. And so when that happened, you know, and so many people, they honestly didn't get mad or say, you know, anything to me. I didn't get bullied or anything like that, but I was embarrassed. And so I decided that I was going to try to do my hair then. So that's when I started playing with my hair. And my dad, even though he didn't know how to put in one of those bow knots or whatever you call it, he didn't know how to put in a barrette. He taught me how to braid. So I at least knew how to do the 3-strand plait. And from that, I learned further how to cornrow. And you might be asking yourself, how did you learn how to cornrow? So from the age of 7, I learned how to put a ponytail in my own hair, because my dad would mess my hair up so bad. And I turned around and I started, hold on, let me see. How am I going to do this? How do I want this part? I want this part to go this way. So if I want this part to go this way, I have to braid it. I have to do this. Yeah. Okay, so I braided my hair myself in plaits. So I would section off my hair, and I would just do it in plaits all the way around my head, because that's all I knew how to do. So I would part it, and I would just put it in plaits. And that's usually somebody's basis right now for putting in crochets for hair. And I wouldn't learn that until way later on. But yeah, so that's how I started off doing my own hair myself. I would section my hair, and I would do my hair in little parts. So I did that for a few years. But between that time, my dad would introduce to me a relaxer, right? Everybody thinks that just because you have 4C hair, it's unruly and you don't know what to do with it, and it'll be so much better if you have a relaxer in your hair, and that is not the case. It's not the case. And my hair is special. Let me tell you how special my hair is. It don't like relaxers. Even though my hair is 4C, you could put a relaxer in my hair and my hair will laugh at it. Do y'all see most of the braiding your hair is about those parts? It takes a long time to part your hair and it's so annoying. But yeah, so I would get the relaxer in my hair and then it wouldn't even go straight. I don't care if you put in a super, it wouldn't really go straight. And my hair, my dad started off with a super, of course. And then when he started off with that super, my hair superly fell out. And I was about 8 years old when that happened. But I was so pressed to show everybody how straight my hair was. Like when I couldn't go outside, I would hang out the window of my granddaddy's house, and I would just sit in the window like this. This is in Baltimore. So anybody who knows Baltimore houses and everything, or pretty much a lot of different houses, it was a row house. I would sit out and we had an end unit. I would sit out and I would be like, hi, what are you doing? And I would swish my hair around to see if anybody would notice. And they were like, oh, you got your hair straightened. Oh, you got your hair done. And I was like, yeah, I did. So I would wear it in a mushroom because this was like there was the 80s, good Lord. And so, yeah, I did that. And I thought I was cute until my hair started falling out because, of course, I didn't know how to take care of my hair after getting a relaxer in. So I didn't get a relaxer for another few years after that. But in between that time, I would just divide my hair up into those little individual plaits. And I would braid my hair myself. And I wore my hair like that for many years. And I still find comfort in that. But I like twists better now that I'm a little bit older. So a lot older. Because y'all heard me say that was the 80s. That was like 86 or so. Yep, I'm that old. So, and I'm old enough to be having hot flashes, and that's why you see me sweating right there. So, so yeah, that's what would happen with me when I was younger. But putting in a relaxer later on, I'm about to tell y'all guys my story about how I learned how to cornrow. But in between that time, my auntie, because I moved from Baltimore to Washington, D.C., and my auntie put a relaxer in my hair. I want to say I was around 10. And she didn't start off with the super because, you know, she understood that my hair was, even though it was 4C, my hair is thin. I had very thin strands. So she put that in my hair, and it was Hawaiian Silky, I think it was. And back then, Hawaiian Silky had like lye in it. And it did straighten my hair. But it didn't straighten it all the way because as soon as it was rinsed out, then it just turned around and started kinking back up. And so she was confused about this, as a lot of people were back then when it came to putting my hair in with chemical relaxers. And she had to hit it with a flat iron. Back then we didn't have flat iron. She had the hot comb. So she put it on the stove, you know, caught fire and everything. And she would proceed to straighten my hair that way after I got a chemical relaxer. And that way it stayed straight until I washed my hair again. It was easier to deal with, but my hair would just kink back up. And I would keep on having to get it straightened with a hot comb until my hair grew out enough, and then I got another one. But that process, of course, tore my hair out, and so I had short hair. And during that time, I was like, something's got to give, because every time I get a relaxer, my hair fall out. So since my hair was falling out so much, I went ahead and started to braid my hair back up again. And it was during that time that I was about maybe 11 or 12 by now. And I said, well, I want to learn how to cornrow my hair, but I don't understand how to cornrow my hair. And nobody could teach me. Nobody in the house knew how. And it was a lot of people in the house. It was like 13 of us in the house, all girls. Could you believe that? Nobody knew how to cornrow, right? Nobody. So I had went into the bathroom, and for hours on end, I would sit there and learn how to do my hair. I would learn how to cornrow my hair. I would just watch people do it. And back then there was no such thing as a video, like the internet. I don't even know if the internet was there. But I know I didn't even get on the internet till I was in the high school. So it wasn't happening at this time that I'm teaching myself. And so, but I did end up learning, because I would do it day in and day out, to cornrow my hair. And it just wasn't working. I was like, how are they picking up these other pieces? And I was like, so I would just start off with a plait, and I would just try to grab and it just was not working. And one day, I was tired. And I was tired of keeping my arms up and my hands up and stuff. And I just decided at that moment, just to, even though I was tired, I was like, and it was on the front. So I was just like, oh. And then all of a sudden, this funny, fat, beautiful braid appeared in my hair. And I was like, how did I do that? And like I said, I was tired, and I laid my hands down, and then, but as I started picking up hair, and I didn't even realize I was picking up hair when I was tired, and I was like, wow, I could do this. And so I of course had many more hours to go with learning what I did from that moment on, of how to braid my hair. But it worked, and I perfected it, and I kept going. And to this day, I can braid my hair. As you can see, I can do my own cornrows, and they are nice. I can do my own micro cornrows. It doesn't matter how small it is or how fat they are. I could do my hair myself, and I'm very proud of that. Very proud, because it took hours on hours, and no one taught me how to do it. Nobody in my house even knew how to do it anyway. And so I'm really proud of that. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Y'all want to know what the kicker is? Can you guys give me hearts, and go ahead and follow me. So the kicker to me learning how to do my hair is something. You know what? I'm gonna show you. I'm not sure if you guys can pick it up, but let me show y'all. Do y'all see what I'm doing? Anybody who's braiding, do you see what I'm doing? That's how I braid my hair. Do you see what I'm doing? Does anyone know what that means? That means I'm underhanded. So I'm technically doing a French braid, right? And with that French braid, that's a skill that a lot of people would love to learn how to do. So that was my gift. That was my gift from God, to learn how to do a French braid, and not a regular cornrow that other people do. Now, on my hair, it shows up as a regular overhanded braid. But on someone else's hair, like my daughter, it shows up as this beautiful underhanded French braid. And people look at my work when in my daughter's head, after I was in my daughter's head, and they go, oh, that's so pretty. How did you do that? And I'm just looking at them like, well, this is normal every day for us, because it is. But I that's just the way I learn. So when I do somebody else's hair, I braid exactly the same way. And braiding exactly the same way in somebody else's head is underhanded for me. So when I do that underhanded braid, That's just what I know how to do. I have to teach myself again, all these many years later on, how to actually braid somebody's hair in another way. So that's my next goal, is to learn how to braid normally, or what other people might call normal, for somebody else's head. And that's for my daughter's benefit, not necessarily mine, because I can do my own myself. And I've learned how to box braid my hair. When I was in high school and middle school and stuff, I used to do my hair myself. So especially after that movie Poetic Justice came out, and you remember Janet, she had them beautiful box braids. She's on the front cover of that advertisement with them braids. I learned how to do that myself. I would sit there and I would do it myself in middle school. I would sit there and do my own micro minis, although it's hard for me to add hair and learn how to do that in particular, but I could still do it. So I did it, and there wasn't no money around, so I could afford the hair. I can afford the Kakankalon, because back then they used to sell it for like $3 for $5 and stuff like that. I don't know what they sell it for now, because I rarely get my hair done like that. And if I do get my hair done, it's usually the shop will provide the hair for something like that. But I haven't had box braids since I was in high school. It was too many people wearing it, and I never liked to look like anybody else, like nobody else. So if I'm wearing it first, or after the style done died down, I'm gonna wear it. So that's why, and then I wouldn't feel like I'm, being like the rest of the people, because my daddy taught me. He stopped me one day, and he was like, Perk, that's where I get my nickname from. He was like, Perk, look around. He said, you see all these people? They sheep. He said, they follow people. He was like, they sheep have a shepherd, and they follow whatever the shepherd tell them to do. He said, that's not you. He said, you don't ever follow the crowd like that, not unless you have to for life preservation and everything. He said, but you don't do that. He said, you do not follow everybody else. You be the leader. He said, if you see a whole bunch of people following people, then you better sit back and try to figure out what's going on, why, because somebody will lead you right down the wrong path and mess you up for life. He said, most people are sheep. He said, don't you do that. You be the leader. So that's what I've always strived to do. So it gave me a sense of pride to not follow the crowd. Like when I was little, it was like things with things that people would do, like K-Swiss. I know I'm telling my age, but back then K-Swiss was the thing. You hear me? I'm talking about everybody wanted to have K-Swiss. Everybody wanted to have Jordans when they came out. Everybody wanted to have all of these different materialistic things, and we couldn't afford them. But people would be like, well, why don't you wear this, and why can't you have that? And I had Payless shoes, and I would run them Payless shoes into the ground, honey. But I would do those things, and I had pride because my stuff looked nice. I couldn't understand why somebody else would think that it wasn't. It's because they're following the crowd. It's because they want to be accepted by everybody else. And I never wanted to be accepted by everybody else. I'm cool. I'm doing me. And so with that said, I felt okay because their K-Swiss was going to get just as messed up as my Payless shoes. So I didn't care, And so I never followed brands and trends and everything like that. If anything, I took pride in being against that kind of stuff. Look, this person, dude, I'm not going to let you come into my life. I'm not. So stop. All right. I be seeing other people go into people's lives and everything, and they just sit there and they just do all kinds of stuff. I don't understand why you want to get on somebody's live if you're not going to talk real seriousness about anything, you know. So if you have something serious that you want to talk to me about, okay, cool. But, you know, just requesting to get on my live and everything, and it's usually a bunch of foreigners and stuff. They just want to get on your live so people can see their face and everything. Look, if I can draw a crowd doing my hair, you can draw a crowd just getting on the internet and just doing whatever you do. So do whatever you do on your stuff. Thank you very much. And I mean, like, they're not even watching, you guys, so I don't even understand what it is. But you guys, don't forget, give me a like. Thank you very much. Hearts don't cost you anything. I appreciate everybody who's coming into this live at, look, 4:57 in the morning. I gotta hurry up. Oh my god. So because I gotta leave out in like the next half hour to get to work. So yeah. So back to how I learned how to cornrow. So yeah, so after that, cornrowing, yes. I saved myself a lot of money doing this. And like I said, I'm not going to have enough time to do this morning, to crochet my hair this morning. And the back is always a problem. So I've also only learned how to cornrow my hair on the sides like this. I've never learned how to put my hands in the back and just do it. Nope. But I can get to the back by like pushing my hands around, because I'm slightly double jointed, and that helps. That helps out a lot. So I think I'm a put maybe some curly hair in my hair. I don't know. I have so much so many things that I can do with the stuff that I have in the house. And any black girl, look, you know, you got some extra hair hanging around somewhere. As a matter of fact, I was thinking to do a raffle, and you know, somebody wants some extra hair that I have, you know, because I don't want hair doesn't go bad. You got it in your stuff, it does not go bad. But I have some curly hair that I accidentally bought, and I'm not going to use it because I don't like the color. It's color 30. It's pretty, but I like something that has a little tonal on the top, and then it progressively gets a little ombre and everything. That's what I like. So, but I was thinking to give that away because I honestly just don't need it. So yeah, so there's that. And but what I really wanted to make sure that I talk to everybody about, because I can get a little serious and a little political every now and then, and it's not politics because it's real life. Like, I was talking to my sister and she was just like, I don't really like to be political, but this stuff is super interesting. And the thing is, a lot of people don't understand that politics rules our lives. Not these days, but every day. It's not something, okay, let me see. No, I think this needs to be about 3 braids. Yeah, it needs to be 3 braids. So this needs to go right here. Oh no, I hate having a middle part in my head, because the hair don't lay right when you do a middle part in your head. And somebody should never be able to divide your hair up in a hemisphere when you are braiding your hair. So this, I hope, works to not do that. So I want it to be slightly off center. Yep. Like I said, I can't see what I got going on in the back. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, hold on. That's my alarm clock. Now you can see what time I normally get up, which is what, 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 in the morning, waking it up. Yep, from DC. Everybody know. Go. All right, talking about the scenario. What that look like? But yeah, so back to the politics. It rules our lives, you guys. But money here in America, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but every 100 days, we are in another $1 trillion worth of debt. This year was the fastest in absolute American history that we went from 37 to $38 trillion in debt. Yep. And so I sat by one day, and I knew the middle of my head was short, but I don't know how that came out like that. I think it came out like that when I got that Dominican blowout. It's been a year to date. And so I guess it was some breakage or something. I don't know. Dominican blowouts and black people here really don't mix unless you got that real strong stuff. But yeah, we every 100 days, which is less than 4 months, we are $1 trillion more in debt. And AI is crashing in stock markets and everything, and they're pushing it for us real hard. They're trying to get everything to be cashless, and so if you have like extra credit card around or something like that, I would use my credit card or take the money that you use, because I like to use actual cash, because I don't like to dip into my credit. I'm trying to pay that off. It's hard. It's so hard. But I'm trying to pay it off. So what I do is I get a burner credit card from the store. You know, you can buy one, a gift card. The Visa gift cards, you know, you can buy a MasterCard gift card too. I'm putting gel in my hair, so to help it stay together. But I'm telling you, I just use those things, and they help out a lot. So when you're online and you want to buy stuff online, you can use that. I like to use PayPal whenever I can, and so you can have that card on there. You can also use that card in places that you normally would not have used it in. Okay, hopefully this is off center. Ouch. These are my last two. This is quite thin. I don't need that to be thicker. But yeah, I use that card other places. If some place doesn't accept cash, don't use your check card. Because the scams, this huge scams, you know. You guys, if y'all don't have those protective sleeves for your cards, for RFID, you should get them, because even though debts is up on the rise for America, we have to all be responsible for our own bank accounts and our own cash and everything that we have, and so let me see what this looked like before I put it in my hair. Slightly off is better. Okay. But yes, I keep my credit cards in an RFID pouch, so nobody can get my credit cards. Because what they're doing is they're not stealing from out of your accounts, even though that scam is still going on. They're not stealing out of your accounts. What they're doing is they just coming up behind you, around you, and they're using a scanner so they can collect your information from out of thin air, because your card is always giving out a radio frequency. And have you guys ever been in line and about to pay for something, or just got in line and your card will jump out? A lot of people's cards have been jumping out and automatically paying for things with the contactless stuff. just immediately. And they didn't authorize that to be paid. And that's just what's happening. So if you put your stuff in an RFID sleeve, or if you have an RFID wallet, and you just don't take your card out like that, and then you immediately put it back into the sleeve, then it will cut down on a majority of those payments that you didn't authorize, that you didn't want, or somebody from stealing money from you. And I found that out to be absolutely imperative these days, when you have so many people who are scamming. Let me get some more of this gel. And so I definitely wanted to talk to people about that, because you don't even know that the money is stolen from you until you check your bank account and it's not there. And a lot of people are, having a hard time these days, and they just don't have the money. So since they don't have the money, and then they thinking that they're saving the money, they're thinking that they have that $100 for the electricity bill, which I have to pay. They look in their account and they see zero, or they see negative. Because if you have it set up for overdraft protection, and that happened to me once before. If you have your account set up for overdraft protection, then the money will automatically come off of another card or from one of your other accounts, and people will just keep on doing it, because the scammers are like, hey, it's going through with every transaction, yay. And but the whole time they're stealing money from not just that account, but from off of multiple accounts. So yeah, I'm looking at my ends, and sometimes I see them videos of people. They come on and they're like, "Oh, that's dead hair." Snip, and then they would take all of the rest of this off. As a girly who gets their hair braided all the time, and as a girly who loves to make sure that I have a different hairstyle all the time, because I get bored. I don't care so much about that. I care about my ends being okay, and if one end is okay and the other end isn't okay, I'm okay with that, because my ends are healthy. I don't like it when things are even, because now when I braid up my hair, I'm going to have funny ends when I braid it up. It's not going to come down. And that's why people feather the hair. That if they're going to add some hair into your hair, they feather it. Why? Because it creates a better, more uniform braid. And that's how braids come down to a nice little tip, because the hair is feathered. So yeah. So that's why I do that. And my hair is so healthy. I have stopped using, I know I'm all over the place, because I can. To get ready with me. And so this is the things that I think about. So, but I'm going to get back to the financial stuff. But when I'm braiding my hair, oh, darn it, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, yes, I love my hair feathered at the ends. I love my hair to come together quite nicely at the ends, and for it to work out. But yeah, so now that I'm almost done, it's cool. Whew. Good Lord, I'm having another hot flash. If you know, you know. Golly. This all happened after the COVID shot. Yep. There's a lot of us that's going through this right now in this young age. Like I was barely 40 when this started happening to me. It happened right after I took that COVID shot. The first 2 was cool, but that booster shot, that did me in. So I still have follicles, but I can't have no babies, because my body just doesn't produce an egg. So, yep, conspiracy time. Yes, I do think that it was a sterilization. Everybody all around the whole entire world is having problems, having kids. Yeah. No, it's not a coincidence. It was manufactured, and it was meant to happen that way. So, okay. Let me see the back of my hair. Let me see. Okay, there's that part that I did not want, but that's okay. So I'm gonna have to go back and forth over that. I gotta get ready for work. Oh gosh, what time is it? 5:11. I gotta get out of here. I don't know about you guys, but ever since everybody's back to work, it's kind of hard to get to work. But yeah, you guys, if you can get a burner credit card because people are stealing money just out of thin air with that contactless thing that's going on, you want to get yourself a burner credit card and load that up, put some money on it and everything, and pay your stuff with that. Just leave your debit card at home. Leave your credit card at home. For overdraft protection, it'll be better if you don't have it. And that way, if somebody tries to steal money out of your account, then, I understand how it is to stand in line and be, embarrassed because your card doesn't go through. It happens. It happens to the best of us. But look, I'd rather have that happen than for my bank fail to tell me that I am than my bank to cover the cost of whatever it is that I'm trying to buy, and then, but I'm also in a whole bunch of debt because my bank has failed to tell me that I didn't have enough money in my account, or or do something fast enough or something like that. Like I have my bank does that. My bank will cover a cost, and it will put me in all kinds of debt. And then it'll turn around and tell me, you have this transaction and that transaction that you have to pay for because you didn't have enough money in your account. But don't worry about it because we took care of it. I want to be embarrassed at the front. I want to be embarrassed when I'm trying to buy some groceries. I want to be embarrassed because that means that somebody got into my account, or I was not responsible and I overspent, or someone stole my money from out of the account. A lot of people are getting their money stolen when they meet them water boys and everything, and they're like, oh, well, let me just cash app you, and then they'll take your phone because you're too silly to understand how to work cash app, and they will hurry up and plug in there some stuff, and then take $500 instead of $5 for that bottle of water. But then they'll hurry up and get out of it, so you don't check it or don't see it when you're at a stoplight, and you go on, and then you find out because it's a rush situation that they done took $500 from out of your account, and guess what? You can't get it back. You can't get it back. But and what else? But yeah, so I have a PIN for my Cash App. So any transaction that happens and everything, you have to know my PIN. And I'm not putting in my PIN for nobody else. And then so I learned how to work these systems and stuff because people, they just steal from you. But if I'm embarrassed at not having some money, that it has alerted me that there's a problem, I'm gonna be back to get my groceries, even if I have to bring one of my other credit cards out there. And I try my best to always have money on one of my accounts. So if I can't have, I'll go up like one of my cards, like I'm at the last $700, but guess what? I got $50 for food if I ever need it. So almost maxed out. But I got $50 for some food. And so, but some people that don't have that. And I'm not ignorant to that fact that some people just don't have that last bit of money for their stuff. But I'm so happy and that I feel like I'm blessed. And did you say that for yourself today? I'm happy and I'm blessed to be able to have a little bit of something in a time that I might need it, if it ever comes to that. Now, I don't want to spend that last $50 or that $50 on my credit card. But if I have to, then I do. And I'm really, really, really happy and thankful to God that He has afforded me that. And then if somebody else needs it or something like that, I will be available to give it to that person. Because anything that you give out in charity is something that God will give back to you. He will give that back to you tenfold. And some people was, they'll be like, okay, well, I gave away some money. I gave away sadaqah. For everybody who's Muslim will know sadaqah is charity, or give zakat. If you give it away, you'll receive it back in 100 ways, or $100, or not $100, but you'll receive it back 100-fold. So let's say that you give away $50, right? And then you think, okay, well, so-and-so said that I'm gonna get it back in 100 ways. I'm gonna get it back in $500. Not always the case. God can save you from having cancer. God can save you from falling down a shaft somewhere. God can save you from being abducted, from being shot, from having, some other disease, something that you don't even know is in your future. You can get back by giving charity. And so I look for ways to give charity. And let me tell you, every dime of the money that I spend on anyone else, I have always received back. I know it. I've received it back in so many different ways that I can't tell you, and that I can tell you. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, these are all of the things that I got, because, people get jealous. And it's smart of people to keep your keep your gifts and the things that God has given you to yourself. But you blessed. I don't have to sit up here and list every ways that I'm blessed, but I know I'm blessed, and I know you are too. You don't want to know how? Because you woke up, because you saw this, because you're getting this message, you're getting this reminder, you're being told something that will benefit you. And so surround yourself with people who benefit you. Remind yourself all the time how wonderful you are. It is not self-centered and bad to stand in the mirror every day and say, good morning, beautiful. How you doing? You look good today. Everything's going to be wonderful. Everything is working in my favor. Even if it is very trying at this moment, it's working in my favor. And who knows, you might be able to braid your hair up like this and be able to go to work and be able to know that you look nice. But I'm going to put a wig on. You may know that you look nice and you are presentable no matter what, because God has given you this gift to be able to do something yourself, to be able to give something away that will benefit someone else and be saved. I sit back and I go, how in the world is it that I look the way I do? It's because God has told me in different ways, you know what? Maybe you should have some chia seeds. Maybe you should eat that green. Maybe you should do that smoothie. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. And I'm a 70s baby. And those things have saved me. I don't like the ultra processed stuff because it doesn't do anything. First of all, it doesn't fill up my stomach. Second of all, it tastes great. It does. But it's not good for you. You feel like crap afterwards. I can't run. I can't jump. I can't do those things. And it's because I have been given the gift, not the gift of nicer skin. I have been given the gift of health because of the things that God has led me to be able to have those things. So don't be jealous of people, like, hey, okay, I'm right behind you. See you later. So that's how blessed I am. That's how blessed I am, because I was able to come across a video or come across a person who has given me insight into better things for myself. And I'm really happy about those things. I'm really happy. I feel really blessed. I feel really blessed to be able to give those things. And now you're blessed too. And so I'm starting my day off with gratitude and happiness. And we all are going to have a wonderful, fantastic day. We are all going to have just, something good is going to happen today. I know it. I can feel it. Something good is going to happen today that's going to be so spectacular. And I don't know how spectacular, but it is. Even if it's something as small as somebody giving me a piece of candy or buying my lunch for me or somebody smiling at me. And it makes, I mean, like there was this one lady and she was a police officer. She was driving. She had a motorcycle on and I was looking at her. This was a black chick and she just looked so badass. And I was just like, wow, look at that black beauty. Just look at her. I'm not gay, but even if I was, whatever, but I'm not. But I was looking at her in amazement. And I was like, oh. And you know what she did? She waved at me. She waved. And I felt so blessed. I felt so special. She was a rock star in that moment. She was. And she blessed me back by saying hi. On a motorcycle, driving up the street. I got respect for that. And wow. Made me feel special. You can make somebody feel special too. If you just say hi to someone who might be in a stupor that day. You don't know. You don't know. So that's how I try to lead my life. Even when people try to keep me down. So you guys, let's protect ourselves. Let's understand what's going on out there. And let's try to just be awesome. All right. I gotta go because I do not want to be late today. I was late for work yesterday. Rain. People don't know how to drive. And so I got to get out of here. Thank you for checking in on me. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Follow me. I appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to do the daggone thing today.